Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. So it is a Monday, that is not a holiday, so you know what that means. We're going on a shopping spree. But I have a new tool now, so let me explain what I did this morning, and then this is gonna be a very chaotic shopping session. So I'm not sure if this is going to start showing information that I don't want you to see. So forgive me if this gets cut off quickly. But Robinhood just came out with having multiple accounts within your account. Like within your Robinhood ecosystem, I'm allowed to have 10 accounts. So what I think I'm going to do, or I mean, I am going to do this, and we'll see how this plays out. But I've been kind of stressed, and by kind of, I mean obsessed about my ulti position. That is the thing that I have the least conviction on because it's YieldMax doing, okay, how do I put this? They are in a lot of high IV plays, and with high implied volatility comes, volatility. So it has a tendency to go down in NAV, and since I have way too much margin, it's not ulti itself that is the issue, it's the fact that I have so much margin and I'm in ulti. So what I'm going to do is open up an individual cash account. And then, because I'm tired of being this stressed about ulti, and I did say I'm challenging myself to stick with my plan for the rest of 2025. But when Robinhood comes out with a new tool in order to manage my finances, I think this will work out well in my favor. So what we're going to do is open up this cash account. We're going to go ahead. Ulti's having a red day, but I'm going to sell some of my ulti. I'm going to buy into YQQQ and WNTR. I would really love to do SLTY as well, but it is at 100% margin maintenance, and so I won't be able to purchase as much. And I was looking at it this morning. WNTR has the same implied volatility as, or not implied volatility, but distribution rate as ulti, and it only has a 30% margin. So a lot of my portfolio is leveraged Bitcoin, so why not be in the inverse, get almost as much as ulti, and not, but I do need my margin to be at 50% margin maintenance just as a responsible individual, so I can stop being stressed about it. So what are we doing with the cash account though? I'm going to start transferring the assets of these leveraged positions and ulti into the cash account as I get distributions that are left over from having to pay, bills. So like if I have a $50 left over, I'll do $50 worth of assets into my cash account and then use the $50 to purchase things like gold and SPY and unleveraged Bitcoin and the S&P 500. Basically sticking with the original plan, but we're replacing the leverage stuff, like we're transferring the leverage stuff into a cash account, because if it's in a cash account, the asset value can go down and I won't get margin called. And then we can put in my margin account gold in the S&P 500 for the most part, so that it's more or less stable and I won't get margin called. So I like my positions I'm in. I just don't like the volatility in it. That's also not coming out right. Like, I want to keep my positions. We're doing self-directed. Thank you very much. This will be leveraged cash. Crap. well, crap. Leverage trash account. Yeah, we'll just call it leverage trash because that's what it's mostly going to be. It's going to be my trash account. Okay, open individual account. We are agreeing to the things. I just don't want it to like flash my social security number here. So I am agreeing. I want to do the stock lending agreement. That way I can earn some money. I want to do the cash sweep program. That way I can earn 4% on my uninvested cash. Now, if I was smart, I would put the 30% that I need to save for taxes in my cash account, but I'm not. We'll continue. And I want to, from another continue, and I just want to move like individual into leverage trash. Okay. Continue. I'm going to customize my selection because I don't want to do all shares. That's dumb. A specific amount. We'll do number must be greater than 0. I guess we'll do it like 100 shares at a time. I mean, there's not really a limit to this, but I do want everything that's leveraged to go into the cash account. That way, if Bitcoin or MST or whatever goes down 90%, the equity is just going to go down and my margin won't get called, in theory. So we'll transfer 100 ulti, that's like $500, almost $600 into it. Okay, so we have 100 shares of that. And so it'll probably, as I figure out how much, well, okay, let's just transfer this first. We have 5 minutes until the market opens, so continue. Okay. Okay, transfers only permitted if at least one owner is the same on each account. Okay. You may elect to transfer the entire account. Transfers may have significant tax and financial implications, including a transfer to a joint account where the account owners are not married. In such a transfer, half the assets will be marked as gifted and the tax information in your joint account. I don't know what the financial implications is of this, but I am the sole owner of this, so it should just be a half. So yeah, individual. Okay, 2 assets. What's just the 1 asset? Okay. It's only showing 1 asset. Okay, I guess we're gonna submit it. Okay, I just got the beep on my mobile app. So that's done and created, and what that did was we now have my individual account and then we have our leverage trash. So these are things like this can go down as much as it wants and I won't get margin called, but this account I need to fix my margin because I am high key stressed. So what we're gonna do first is I have this one share of Bitey that is out there, and we're just going to cancel this order. And then also for Ulti, we're going to cancel that order just so that I can see my margin. And I just, after I did the transfer for Ulti, realized I asked Perplexity, and apparently transfers can trigger the wash sale rule. So if I sell Ulti, I should not transfer it within 30 days. So, what does that mean for me? Not much. It's only 100 shares. So if $500 got wash sailed, then that's what's just going to happen. So we have in the buying power right now, we're at 37% margin. So what I want to do is, okay, so PennyMac reimbursed me for canceling my condo insurance. So I did not actually have to transfer anything out of my account this time. And since it was money that I got from PennyMac, I'm going to invest all of that this time. So I have $1,762.42 that I want to transfer and then also invest in this account. Okay, so I want to transfer $1,762 worth of, you know what? I'm bad at math. This minus this. I still have $200 that we can work with. Okay, so basically I was just going through this and I was like, okay, we can, what I wanted to do is basically transfer my leverage stuff into my cash account and then buy non-leverage stuff in this account, my individual account. That way eventually we're going to be replacing, and I didn't put this out here before, but I do have my rules for engagement, rules for my portfolio. It doesn't mention this transfer stuff because Robinhood mentioned it after I made this document. But basically, I'm working on the Bitey and the YMAX portion of this. But as I get 100 shares of YMAX, or after I get 100 shares of YMAX, I'll be investing in T-SPY until I have 100 shares of T-SPY, and then probably WPay, and then figuring out if I want to do QLDY or SPY. So, but this is going to do like Bitey and Blocks and GBTY and Chippy. So as we get to 100 shares of Bitey, we'll go into GBTY and then Chippy. And this is more volatile than this, but I do want this margin account to be mostly like gold and the S&P 500. So maybe in the future it'll look like my Bitcoin and like this half will go into my cash account and we'll just have gold and basket things in here. So basically, because this is margin and a margin account, I need to have enough assets in here that I don't get margin called. But I also need to make a minimum amount of money because I'm living off of this stuff. So what are we doing? This is a good question. I have canceled my orders for Bitey and Ulti. We have a 37% margin buffer. I think we're going to go ahead and sell out of some of my Ulti. That way we can just see. So we're just going to do it in dollars, and we're going to do just like $5,000 review order. And then for the next, I'll pay attention and basically I'm not buying ulti for the next 30 days. I'm not buying any of this leverage crap for the next 30 days. So we're just going to get the leverage crap out of this portfolio in particular. So we are at 38.98%. Actually, now that I've sold the 5,000 shares, so we have $118 more to do. 17. Okay, so we'll do 18 shares of MST. And I want to sell account, transfer. We're going to transfer assets between accounts. Continue. We'll do from individual investing to leverage trash. We don't want to do everything. I mean, I do want to do everything eventually, but we're just going to have to do it piecemeal. So customize my selection. We're going to do MST, not all shares, a specific amount. We'll do, and I don't have to, I can just do this all at the same time. So we'll do 18 and come back here, and for XBTY here, specific amount, and we'll do 17, confirm, and then NBYY here, we'll do a specific amount, again, 17, and then PLTW is 17. Confirm. Continue. Yup. 4 assets. Okay, that's fine. From individual to leverage trash. I suspect this will help my margin more because all of these, MST has a 50% margin buffer, or yeah, margin maintenance, XBTY 50%, MVY 50%, and PLTW is 40%. So it might do better. So how much? What is my margin buffer now? Okay, so this makes sense because now I don't have that money. Okay, so in the end, I think I am going to have to sell more ulti. Okay. I think I really just want my margin buffer at 50%. So basically, consequences are what they are. But at this moment in time, I need my margin buffer to be at 50%. So $5,000 again. I was only planning on selling $15,000 of ulti to begin with. So we'll see. This is another 800 shares that we're doing. So we're at 70,000, 65, 32%. I'm gonna have to sell a lot of ulti. Because Okay. I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen with Ulti is that I buy more in my cash account at the end of October. Well, I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen, that could happen, is I just don't make enough money to pay off my credit cards, because this, the Ulti, I'm getting like $4,000 per month, which is like 2/3 of what I need to live on. So, it just, how much, I don't know if it's going to be possible to decrease my buffer today that much, unless I sell my leverage stuff. But then for the next 30 days, I won't be able to do any more transfers into that account, which, like, that's fine. And basically, from the cash account, I'm going to reinvest into this individual account and buffer this up and transfer things over. So what happens to my buffer if I just buy like $200 of winter? It decreases it, right? I don't think I'm buying anything today. Yeah. That might be the extent of what I buy today. In my mind, that $15,000 really helped my margin buffer, but I probably should not have been that surprised, because reasons. Mostly because this is a 25% margin maintenance for some reason. So, in order to raise up my margin buffer, this has to be sold more. So, and we're doing this in $5,000 increments. I am up in Ulti on total return, but, still feels bad, man. Okay. So, I mean, I don't want to start selling the leverage stuff because I'm getting the amount of money I need from that in order to pay my bills. So, I guess, Amy, you're just gonna have to deal with having less of a margin buffer. But I think, okay, I have 7,000. Whatever, it's fine. So we're gonna go ahead and sell order in shares, $2,644.52. So that is $14,000 more dollars. Okay. So basically, I just sold out of half of the positions that I had an ulti, and did this help my margin buffer at all? A little bit, not much. But what we are going to do is YQQ is 0.46% of my portfolio diversity. So I need to buy it in shares. So and this says 25% margin buffer. Okay. Okay, done. And what this is going to do, I want to have 5% in here and 5% here. My margin buffer is not going to go away. Like, it's still going to be low, but if I can get my my inverses to be around 20% of my portfolio, then my entire portfolio could go down 60% almost, and I would not get margin called. So this is at 0.75% of my portfolio diversity. So maybe today I don't get to 10% for each of these. Or, yeah, so total for all of my inverses, I'm shooting for 20% for now, because I still have a bunch of leverage crap in my portfolio. But winter has around the same amount of yield as ulti. So it has a 5%, not 5. It will lose money over time, but so does ulti. Mister's having a moment. So anyways, basically I broke myself down and convinced myself to actually, hey, that's a cool number. We'll stop there. We're at 6.66% of my portfolio. That is a good omen. Okay, so then what is this doing? We have 37%. So, and we have 53%, $53,000 of margin used. Okay. So I think YQQ it doesn't have as high of a distribution yield as winter, but ulti is a little unhinged as like a leveraged triple Q play, NASDAQ 100 play. And so I'd really love to do more SLTY, but it has 100% margin maintenance until it has had enough time in the market where it goes down. So I don't know if it's going to wind up with the 25% margin maintenance or 30% margin maintenance, but clearly I need I need other assets. So and then just do it in 100 share increments. I just got kind of tired of being so anxious about ulti all of the time, and it's not ulti. Like, I like having it in my portfolio, but I just had too much margin out, and I'm not like, I'm not hedged enough for it. So we'll do one more 100. That puts me at 5%. 10% of my portfolio is now hedged, which is nice because my portfolio is going down. I have less than $70,000 of margin out, which is nice. I do have only 5,000 shares of Ulti, which is what it is. I can continue to take the leverage stuff out of this portfolio. Next week, I will invest more stuff. I don't think I need to buy anything else today. So I bought hedges today, and that's just going to have to be good enough. We are still at only a 35% margin buffer, but I feel better now that I have 10% of my portfolio in straight hedges, and then Goldie is now a higher percentage. It's now at 16% of my portfolio. So I don't personally believe that gold, like, even if there is a super downturn in the market, I don't think gold is going to zero. So I think for now, like, having 10% of my portfolio in a straight hedge and then a bunch of gold is good enough for me and my anxiety about literally everything. And winter, the price of it will go down because it's an inverse, first of all. And second of all, it is a Group D week. So I'll get my first distribution from this, or at least one with having 224 shares of it. And then YQQ also goes down as a general course, but it doesn't go down as much as me trying to do protective puts on it every $200 every 2 weeks. Or yeah, so I'm okay with this. I'm going to think about this less and less. Ulti, now that I have sold so much of it, I won't touch anything with Ulti until the end of October, and I will just continue to transfer over these hedged things because they're 50% margin maintenance, and if Bitcoin goes way down or AI has a moment, then this entire portfolio could be toast. But if I'm proactive and I just transfer all of this shit over to my leverage trash account, okay. I didn't realize it was that much in there. But yeah, so then I have $45,000 in my leverage trash account. So this makes me nervous because all I see is my Ulti and not like all of the other things I've transferred. So hopefully I didn't do anything weird. Okay, so we've got individual and we've got leverage trash. And there we go. So I do have $45,000 in here. So if I do get margin called, I can transfer some of the stuff back in, and it will hopefully be leveraging me. So, like, this is now my emergency fund, which having Ulti as your emergency fund is not a great idea. But hopefully this doesn't actually go to zero and I can just transfer the assets back in if there's a major downturn, and it'll be good enough for my portfolio. So we'll just see how this works. So okay, yeah, the it doesn't look as nice as like $107,000. So, but I have $62,000 in this account with $58,000 of margin, and then we have the $45,000. So this, I'll just add those two together and put those in my my dividend tracking, and we'll just track this as if it is one account. But I think for me, transferring the money from the leverage trash into this account, well, the leverage trash is probably going to go directly into bill paying for the foreseeable future. But yeah, I just want, and I think leverage trash, once we transfer out Ulti and we have all the leverage stuff out of leverage trash, that should that really should be I'm paying for all of my bills with my leverage trash, and then maybe my individual investing account, I can start reinvesting and treat it like it's a real account. So, yeah, maybe I failed at not changing my strategy in a major way before the end of the year, but for me, I need to figure out how much money I'm getting now. But one of the things I'm going to do is my credit card I just opened, I was having trouble transferring the personal loan to the credit card, so I'd have 2 years to pay it off 0% interest. What I'm going to do is take, I have $13,000 balance in a credit card that was, it was mostly for the air conditioning unit that was $10,000, and then as like a last FU Amy, they charged me $2,000 to replace a sink. So it's mostly just that. So I'm going to transfer that way, and that's going to be $5,000. So that just decreases my burden for overpayment, so that I only need $6,000 out of this account. Well, I'm still going to try to take as much money as I can out of this account to overpay, so that I get all my credit cards and start paying off my personal loan more. But as long as I am minimally meeting all of my obligations, since I don't, and the other hedge of this is I need to continue to expand out on YieldMight and program. So getting actual income from a business instead of relying on this portfolio. So this helped my anxiety, but not having enough money also isn't good for anxiety. So hopefully with the amount that I put into the inverses and all of this stuff, that I wind up with enough money that I can continue to live on this experiment. Anyways, thank you so much for sticking with me with this weird shopping experience. And what are your moves this Monday? And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.